So I almost didn't write my book. I stopped many times. I quit and I said, this is too much and no one's going to care about this. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. And I don't want to look at it. This is gross. This is disgusting. I can't believe this happened. I'd rather just pretend it didn't happen. And so I stopped many times. It took a lot longer than it could have. Like if I had not let that shame and fear and those feelings of helplessness creep in. But eventually it got done. You know, my husband was a big encouragement. He really encouraged me to keep writing. And Virginia, her story and her memoir came out, or I heard it was going to be coming out. And I was just like, it's like, it was inspiring to see what she was doing that way. And I was like, you know what? Like, you're right. I don't feel like that her telling her story makes her a lesser person. It makes her brave. That is a wonderful choice to do. She shouldn't be silent about what happened to her. I said, okay, so then why are you saying that about yourself? So it was a big encouragement, and thank you so much, Virginia, for writing your memoir. I know, it said that you're not among us anymore, but I believe that, we're all one, and I'm so grateful. Like your memory, your words live on, and you really inspired me to write my book, The Unrelenting Call of the Unseen Child, Holistic Trauma Healing for the Inner Child. And it's my words putting into words what happened to me as a child. Well, as a child through my adolescence, when I was being severely abused sexually and psychologically, and sold and trafficked as well. It was a childhood I would not wish on anyone, but it's a childhood a lot of children experience. And me pretending that it hadn't happened wasn't changing the fact that it did happen to me, and it's happened to many other children, and it's still happening. So that's part of the reason I wrote that book, to speak out, to share in graphic detail some of my memories of what happened to me, because I think it's important that we don't gloss over it, that we do realize and start talking about the deep atrocities that have been happening to children, to people. It's not okay. And the more we keep it in the dark, the more we don't talk about it, the more we leave it, in those dark closets, the more it continues to have power and the way it can continue to happen. Whereas if I stand here like, it's not my fault, it's not your fault, whatever somebody did to you as a child, that's not on you, that's on them. And the more we all stand up and talk about this, the less spots it is for it to hide in. Because really, they're powerless in the voice of truth. Who really is going to stand for this happening if they know that this is what's happening to children? So I wrote my book, and I hope you read it. I hope you read Virginia's. I hope you read the stories of other survivors, and that it inspires you, that if something did happen to you as a child or at any point in your life, that you feel inspired to look at that pain and trauma and to transmute it and heal it and speak out about it. Or if you weren't someone who experienced that, that it inspires and encourages you to stand up and advocate for others, for a better world, for children, for all of us. I do believe that is possible. Healing is possible for everyone. And here on the other side of that kind of abuse, I can tell you that as hard as it was, as horrific and painful as it was, healing is possible. I was once terrified all the time, living in anxiety, eating disorder, depression, self-harm, very low self-esteem, like on and on the list would go on. And I wondered if I'd ever climb out of this darkness from the amount of pain and trauma, just living with those PTSD symptoms. It was a lot. So if that's something that you or someone is struggling with, my heart goes out to you, because I still really intimately remember that pain and those feelings of just complete nightmarish horror. So I want you to know you're not alone, and I'm definitely here if you need to talk. I get it, I understand, and healing is possible. It was not your fault. Like, that's something that I had to say so many times to myself, that caused the most healing for me. It was not your fault what somebody did to you as a child. Like, that was not you, that was them. And there's no shame in it for you. All the shame is theirs. They wanted you to carry the shame so that you would feel bad and not talk about it, and then it would just continue to happen. But it's not your fault, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. You are beautiful, and you are here for a reason. Don't let those pains and traumas of the past keep you locked in the prison those abusers wanted you in. You can be free. Much love and light.